Spider-Man.
So there's a lot of Spider-Man news going on right now, and honestly, a lot of it seems pretty good. From developments within Sony in regards to the future Spider-Man universe that they're building, as well as future developments with Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, there is so much to talk about today. But before we get started, if you guys could leave a like on this video, it helps me out more than you could ever know. So let's try to get this video to maybe 50 likes.
You serious?
And also subscribe to the channel because we're on the road to 1,500 subs and I can't believe we're getting so close. So now let's talk Spider-Man. Rumor has it that Lord and Miller, who brought us the incredible Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse movies, are now controlling the Spider-Man universe for Sony. Why is this such a big deal? Well, look at the movies they put out. We have Into the Spider-Verse, which was a cultural phenomenon, and then Across the Spider-Verse, which was such an amazing successor, and we have Beyond the Spider-Verse, hopefully coming out next year. These two Spider-Man related movies from Sony are by far the most successful, bar the movies from the MCU where they worked together with Sony for the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Ever since Sony started to produce their own universe of Spider-Man characters with movies like Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Morbius, and the upcoming Kraven the Hunter movie, and let's not even mention Madam Web.
What the hell?
It seemed like Sony either had an agreement not to use Spider-Man in their movies or just kind of tried to hint at Spider-Man. Because in all of these Spider-Man related character movies, he doesn't even pop up. And honestly, this gets me very worried for Kraven the Hunter because I think this could be a good, solid, at least decent film, but it doesn't look like they're even going to touch Spider-Man. Which Kraven, Venom, Madam Web, Morbius are all Spider-Man characters. I beat this horse to death talking about how you can't have a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk about the positives and the fact that Lord and Miller are taking over the Sony Spider-Man universe. We know that these guys can make magic happen, and if this can be brought into live action, maybe this can save the Sony Spider-Man universe, but at what cost? Because if I'm being honest, I would rather it just end. We know that Venom 3, The Last Dance, is going to be the final Venom film, and there's also some rumors that it's potentially going to be rated R. So I think the best thing we can do is have Kraven be released and it being rated R and being somewhat good, and then we have the third and final Venom movie release being rated R, and hopefully that's good, and then we can end the Sony Spider-Man universe. Because it's very messy, and honestly, that's what I wish would happen. But now with Lord and Miller coming into the picture, I know they can work magical things, and now my hopes for a Spider-Man 4 or another film with Andrew Garfield, my hype is kind of building back up. Sony has done some damage with these Marvel movies that aren't connected to the MCU, and I think they need a big win, and this seems to be one. Now let's switch over and talk about the live action stuff that's happening with Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man. It looks like they're trying to maybe shoot this movie this year, which we still don't know anything about a director for this film, and news about that should be coming out soon, especially if they plan on shooting. I've said this a million times, this story needs to be a grounded, gritty story with a street-level Spider-Man with the likes of Daredevil, Kingpin, Scorpion, and maybe we can have a little bit of a multiversal element in there as well. But I think the basis of this story really needs to revolve around the fact that Peter Parker is now completely alone, and he has to do the right thing without anybody knowing who he is, and he has to form himself again as Spider-Man. The origin trilogy of the MCU Spider-Man is now over, and now we get the dark, gritty, developing part of him, which actually leads into my next point, and that is Venom. There's rumors that Venom could possibly make an appearance in this Spider-Man film, and I don't know how I feel about this just yet. Personally, I think we can do this first film with Venom being teased or possibly making a cameo at the end of the movie, but I don't think he needs to be the main villain or main focus. We know that the symbiote is in the MCU now with the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home's post-credit scene showing the symbiote on our Earth. And as you guys know, Venom is one of my favorite characters, so I think they can finally get it right if they take their time with it and not rush into it. So maybe we can have Peter Parker kind of battling his own demons with the whole symbiote saga going on while fighting the street-level heroes and villains. I think that could be really cool, but it's got to be done right. And I don't want this movie to be another Spider-Man 3 situation, which I have to admit, I love that movie, but I don't want it to be overcomplicated, overcrowded, and just be messy. Overall, I just want to see Spider-Man team up with street-level Marvel heroes like Daredevil and fight Kingpin, and maybe we see the symbiote at the end. Because we can also introduce other characters such as Scorpion, Black Cat, and of course Venom. Lastly, I want to talk about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which was once called Spider-Man Freshman Year. I don't really think they knew what they were doing with this show, having it kind of be connected to the MCU, but not. But now it's completely separate from the MCU, and honestly, after the great success and the masterpiece that was X-Men 97, I want them to continue with the original Spider-Man animated show. And I think the popularity and the success of X-Men 97 may harm this new Spider-Man show a little bit, just because it's not connected to that and it's kind of not what we originally had wanted for an animated Spider-Man, which in my case is the 90s animated series. But I'm still optimistic about it because I saw how great X-Men 97 was and the animation style and the care and love that was brought into it. I just hope it's the same for that show. But yeah, there's so much Spider-Man news going on. There's also so much Deadpool and Wolverine news going on, as well as Star Wars. So if you guys want to stay up to date on all that stuff, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Also, leave comments down below. I read every single one. I most likely will respond, and I will see you all very, very soon.